Let's
He
see.
is
TommyBoy.
I am Howdy.
Howdy.
And together we are
Checkers and Wreckers. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Not
Am
bad.
I on?
At all? Yeah, I believe so. Should be good. Should be rocking and rolling this morning.
Yeah. Nope. Yep. Oh, there we go.
A little better there.
Yeah.
I bet you now you hear it, definitely.
Yeah. There we go. I was like, hold on here.
Yeah, you were coming through, just not
Through.
in here. So now we hear you. So hope everybody had a fantastic week. We are back at it here. It's Sunday, just a little past 11. And hey, we got some new stuff in the paddock. You can't really see it just yet. We're definitely going to be posting some pictures.
You can't see it, but you'll be able to tell the difference.
Absolutely. Or Alex Acoustic Treatment came on board with us and sent us some goodies there. So we'll be posting some pictures, maybe a video or two as well. I've been hanging up some acoustic treatment in the paddock, and boy, oh boy, hopefully.
Now I want to bring the guitar amp and stuff over and jam out.
Exactly, dude. I know. It makes it sound so good. It just put that nice crisp sound.
It makes it tight in here.
So
I like it.
Hopefully,
like it a lot.
Hopefully that benefits all you listeners out there. And if you want to get that room treated and really improve the purr of that engine, just make it sound just real good, just check out Orlex over there. We'll have a link to them as they have hopped on board. They're here all year with us. So
that's nice, and thank you very much, Orlex, for doing that. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
And I'm checking out TommyBoy's new stream deck over here.
It's fun.
It's pretty neat.
I like the thing. It's exciting. I'm not going to put the instant replay screen up, but there's so many things I can do with it. So I like it. It's fun. We're going to play around with stuff. We'll definitely have some other things
got new
going.
toys.
Absolutely. So, hey, always trying to make the paddock a little better place for you guys there in Checkers and Wreckers land. So, good morning, Mr. Foles. Good morning.
Mr. Brad Haldane, Mr. Brooks Trammell, Leo Pena, Bryson Daffrin, I think I seen was on.
So, Scott Bellum.
Yeah.
Man, he's not nice, is he? You talk to him on iRacing, doesn't say a word.
I was like, hey, Imperial Motorsports in the house. What's up, Scott? Nothing.
He'll chat with us this morning on here, though. No, I'm just joking. He came in there afterwards. He's like, hey, can I get my chat enabled? And I said, oh, the old chat man.
Yeah, and then Sean told me about that. I was like, oh, okay, that's why he didn't respond to me. I was like, maybe he don't know who I am by my real name.
Right. No, it was the old chat man there. So I told him, I said, I'm going to give you a hard time on the show tomorrow for that one. I won't say what he did. It was a pretty good one. I don't know why they banned him on this, but hey, it is what it is.
It happens.
For the next 4 months, he won't be talking to you.
He got chat banned for 4 months?
Yeah, it was a long time.
Now, is that by iRacing?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yep. So he can still, during Take Out Your Team Tuesday, he can still do that maniacal laugh, that So I think Imperial Motorsports went at it in good old-fashioned Take Out Your Team Tuesday this week from what I saw.
All right.
But
speaking of Imperial Motorsports, Tim Trowbridge has been running the Checkers and Wreckers All-Star Series.
Yep.
He will not be running this Wednesday night. He's going to have a substitute driver, and I can't remember who it is. I think it's one of the guys from Imperial.
Well, yep. You got Scott, you got Thomas. I don't know if Thomas is a...
You got a lot of wheelmen over there.
You do.
I don't think you can make a bad pick with any of them.
Thomas is over there building a new PC. He sent me a couple pictures of that. That's looking sweet. He's got like a white case. Looks really nice. I can't do white. I'm too messy.
Yeah, I can't do white.
Cheeto dust.
However, I'm trying to light mine up like 4th of July right now.
It's looking nice. It is. So, I want to see if you got a cool PC, stuff like that you guys use for all this gaming, let us.
I'll put a pic of mine on there.
We got a viewer from North Carolina. Good morning. My 3 months. I'll have to hear the story on Mr. Daffrin there, because he's another one that. Hey, can he get his chat enabled? So that's
hey, sometimes good. I don't think that's a bad thing though.
No.
I mean, I figure, hell, our little group, we sit there in Discord and we chat amongst ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know how many times like I really use like game chat. There was a couple times in the official this week that I did, and it probably could get me banned, but nothing. I don't use it overwhelmingly.
I'm usually just like, come on, man, or are you serious, or
right.
What was that for? That's usually my phrases in chat.
Right. So there's Thomas there. We got a good chunk of Imperial Motorsports watching in with us.
Yes,
Thomas, Scott, who's racing in taking Trowbridge's spot? Is it one of you guys here this morning, or not?
In
this
the
morning?
All-Star Series?
Yeah, this morning. I'm all over the place this morning.
You good?
I think so. I'll make
focus, it. Tommy boy, focus.
I'll make it. I was hanging up some Orlex last night. I always do things at the worst time. It's like, I think to myself, I'm going to get some sleep before the podcast. Like, no, I think I'm going to hang this stuff till 4 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah. I wasn't far behind you. I was up to about 3.
Yeah, fair enough.
So.
But we had some fun and exciting action go on the racetrack. Some news coming down from some
racing
different
season
teams.
Started.
Exactly. Yep.
Racing season has started.
We're back and at it here. So we got a lot to talk about today. And what do you want to start at?
We'll start with IndyCar because I'm gonna lead in because I had to bring this up. We were talking in Discord last night, and speaking of Mr. Trowbridge, we were talking about him because I mentioned that he's not racing Wednesday night in the All-Star Series, and somebody's like, "Oh, I wonder why." I was like, "Well, IndyCar testing is starting." I was like, "I believe they're going to Coda," and I said, I wouldn't want his job. I wouldn't want the job of anybody on that team right now, especially on the 14 car. The reason being is you have three different drivers in that car now. So from week to week, you're going to have to totally set the car up different for a different driver, different seat. Every driver likes what they like. So, being a part of that team, you're going to be busy.
Yeah, but at the back end of that, and I'd like to actually get his take on that, but like I was you have two of the best guys when it comes to setting up a car now on your team. You got Tony Kanaan. He's fantastic.
I understand that.
And Bourdais.
I understand that. I'm just saying the work that goes into it to get it there.
Absolutely. But at least you've got those guys behind you that can really help out in their own way as well. So at least you're not setting the car up for a rookie that doesn't know how he likes an Indy car.
And I'm not so much talking about as the
actual
setup.
I'm talking
changing
about the
everything.
Cockpit. I'm with you. Yeah, because that's a load in itself there.
And it just takes, that. But I know these guys are professionals, and I'm sure they'll have a checklist to go through, every week for this driver and whatnot. But still, it's just that added bit of more preparation you have to do.
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking of the same thing.
Not that you don't have enough already.
The big thing is, you're changing out a seat, the cockpit. That's some work in itself right there, and just added stress to a team.
Yeah,
that really doesn't need the added stress. So.
I'm sure you're gonna have to adjust pedal feel because I'm sure each driver likes a different pedal feel.
Yeah.
I don't know if they your shifters are on the wheel, so that I'm sure each driver kind of has their they have a wheel made for them. I mean, the way the grips are molded, it's for their hands.
So Mr. Trowbridge is busy because
yes.
that's what he's doing.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a I'm not going to say so much of a nightmare because, these guys, at least on this team, now they have a solid backing there to really help boost them. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of extra things added there. So with that said, like we mentioned Bourdais and Dalton Collette is how we're going to say that at least.
It's either Collette or Calais. I'm not sure.
Yeah, until we hear otherwise, we'll say Collette. But he has signed, or they have signed, with AJ Foyt there. So an interesting pairing. They don't sign Tony Kanaan. We hear that last week to a full-time gig. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're right.
But they do end up getting Sebastian Bourdais, which is a great pickup, and I did not really expect Bourdais to end up back in IndyCar this season, really. Just kind of, he got his ride with IMSA. I really thought he was just going to kind of stick with that and maybe see him in the 500. But that leads to another question is, what Foyt does for the 500, because right now Bourdais' contract is not for the 500. That is Tony Kanaan and Kimball.
Right.
Those two are going to run that. Do you give Bourdais a seat in a third car?
Or if not that, you allow him to say, yes, you're under contract, but not for this race. So you would have to allow him to be able to go out and find a ride. Now, the bad thing about that is, say Kimball or Kanaan gets in an accident in practice and gets hurt. Okay, well, you're next man up. Well, sorry, I already got a ride. Well,
Now
but you're
Colette's
under
next man
contract
up.
with AJ Foyt Racing.
Not for that run, though.
But there's got to be some stipulations in there. And,
right.
And I mean, I don't see Foyt, funding a third car for the 500. Possibly, maybe. But, when you're talking about a team that was, the main reason I think that Kanaan isn't in the car for the full season is because the sponsorship money wasn't there. So you got Bourdais and Colette bringing in some sponsorship dollars. So, to me, that tells me that team, they're having a little struggle finding funds.
Right.
So,
yeah, they're bringing in drivers now at this point that have money, have some sponsorships.
Unless one of these other drivers, hey, my sponsor will pay, X amount of dollars for me to run the 500, then I can see him putting a third car out there.
Absolutely. So, I mean, a lot of questions kind of up in the air right there for that team. And good morning to Mr. Sick and Nick there. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic... Sick Nick. Hopefully Nick's not sick.
Or it could be Nick Sick.
Nick Sick, yeah. Nick Sick, hey.
I mean, Nicky Six from Motley Crue. Anyway.
That's what I say on the broadcast, man. I'm a weird dude, and you can attest to that. We talked about it last week. Scott McLaughlin, I think that's how you say it, tested with Penske.
Yep.
He got the ride.
Yep.
He is going to be running in the Indy GP. So an interesting kind of turn there is Penske's going to field now 4 cars for both the 500 and the GP. So
okay, so that's going to lead the question I got coming then. I mean, I am wearing the hat. So you're feeling you're going to field 4 cars. Now your 4th car in the 500, is it still going to be Elio?
I think so, just because of the relationship, everything there. From what I heard, Ed Carpenter Racing is looking at Alonso for the ride.
Well, and they were also talking to Kyle Busch, too, and said Kyle Busch has a ride there if he wants it.
And at that point, I'm taking Alonso. You've ran this track before. You've been here. You don't have to go through that rookie training. You don't have to go through that rookie testing. You don't have to go through the hitting the wall, because he's done that.
Yep.
And he knows what that feels like.
Yep.
And you don't have to, I mean, it's a new car. So I was going to say, frankly, it's, you don't have to, that IndyCar oval fear, if you will, is not over.
But really,
so
is
much.
it that new compared to the old one? I mean, besides the aero screen.
No, I think that's really but that's changing quite a bit, because I mean, the car on the outside and all the components, I think for the most part, I mean, it looks the same for the most part.
I would think it would make it a little bit faster, especially down the straightaway.
Yeah, because you're not breaking up right there with the driver's head and stuff.
I mean, you have that little opening there where some air can suck down in. Now, I don't know if they've created a duct right there to where when the air sucks down in the aero screen right there, if it exits out the back of the cowling.
Some of that is for cooling, though.
Right, I understand that. But I guess I can't say, because I don't know how much air is getting in there.
They said, like, when they were testing there at Indy, they didn't say, like, it was silent. It was, I mean, they weren't feeling much, so I don't think a lot of air was getting inside of that. But,
well, that's good.
I mean, on the opposite end of things, they're talking about, I've heard talks and rumors that this thing's not going to be ready for the first race here at St. Pete.
Really?
That this aero screen, that they're pulling it out. Now, they're starting to come out with these liveries. They're starting to come out and actually show this. So we posted Felix's livery this
It looks
week.
good, too.
Asher got to reveal
And by the way, it's a couple days late. Happy birthday, Asher.
Yes, absolutely. But that was really cool on his birthday.
Yeah.
He got to reveal he
The
was
number
out there,
7 car on his
seventh birthday. I thought that was really neat.
I thought it was neat. He got to talk to Wickens.
Yeah, talk to the whole team there,
Paddo.
Paddo and Oliver. So
Oliver's a little bitty dude.
Paddo's the little bitty dude. Oliver looks like a taller.
You're right. Paddo's the little guy.
Yeah, he is. But
I had him backwards.
So
Dean Sewell, first time listener. Well, thank you, buddy. Hope you like what we're doing.
Absolutely. Hopefully this won't be the last.
Right.
So
we get a little corny, we get a little kooky sometimes, but hey, that's just what we do.
Like I said, I tell people all the time, I'm a weird son of a gun. So,
well, we both are. We have our quirks, so
But going back to IndyCar, let's look there. McLaren got their car out there. Chilton is back with Carlin.
Yes.
So he is going to run the road courses, the street courses, and the 500. No other ovals. So he's holding out on those 5. I think it's 4 other ovals, maybe 4 or 5 other ovals that they got going. He is not going to race those, even with the aero screen on there. So not sure exactly. I mean, at this point, are you just trying to be an F1 driver and you're just holding on to anything you can here in open wheel?
But at this point, I don't see him hitting F1.
No, I don't either. So I don't know.
I think you need to take the opportunity that's in front of you right now and really take advantage of that. And, if you can go out there and shine, then to me, that would make, if your aspirations are to get into F1, getting out there and performing and winning races and making yourself presentable and look good to a team's going to help you out. So I don't get it. I mean, if you're going to run all these other races and you're going to run Indy, I mean, don't get me wrong. Texas is a scary oval, scary fast. Let's see, Pocono.
Yep.
That's,
Well, they're not running that this year.
Oh, that's right.
So you got Richmond, Gateway, Texas, Indy, and Iowa. Those are your 5 ovals.
Okay, so
the only fast one you have, honestly, is Texas and Indy.
Yeah, that's what I say. Besides Indy, the only one to me that would really be sketchy would be Texas.
Okay, and that's quick.
It is.
I mean,
but I would say, Iowa, Richmond, and I'm missing Gateway. Those are kind of short tracks. I mean,
I'm not gonna say they're not fast because you're still going 170.
But
160.
They're not Indy and they're not Texas.
No, you're not going 230 miles an hour.
To me, I would much rather run Iowa, Richmond, or Gateway than Indy.
Right, exactly.
I mean, if I wasn't, going to run ovals, I would, or trying to pick and choose, I would pick those 3 over Indy.
It's just the allure, and the Carlin needs money. I mean, frankly, I'm sure.
You have to have a car in the Indy 500.
Maybe that is a Carlin thing too. He's saying to himself, "Man, I don't want to waste. I think he can go out there and keep this car clean through these road courses, through these street courses, maybe through Indy. At least he makes money through that, possibly. I think a starting part gets you something.
Oh yeah,
but."
I like that, a starting part.
But maybe he doesn't want Chilton to go out there and throw these things into the wall on an oval and have to spoon out a bunch of money there that he doesn't have. So
True.
That could be part of it too. I think everybody assumes we see that Max Chilton didn't run or backed out, frankly, last year. Didn't run the ovals, and then this year he's back just for the 500. So obviously it's for the allure of it. At that point, if I'm Carlin, though, I'm getting another guy to drive that car in the oval. If you're me, but maybe he can't find another guy right now. Again, it's a hard situation to kind of ponder on there. I don't know. I would think there's an Indy Lights guy that would love the opportunity to drive in one Indy 500 there or something. But I mean, I'm not behind the scenes. I'm not seeing it. This is just how we see it here. But kind of a strange deal there.
To me, I still just don't understand it. If you're a racer, you go out and race, and and if you're in this series, you want to win a championship. To me, that's the yeah, winning races is great, but the ultimate goal is winning the championship. And if you're not putting yourself in that position, I don't see why you're doing it.
Right. 100% there. I agree. So that's really it when it comes to IndyCar. I mean, do you got anything else on Alonso or
No, not really. I mean, like you already said, the speculation is he could go to ECR.
Obviously, he's got to run Chevy. I mean, that's,
Which ECR is not a bad team to go to. You know, Indy, they've proven time and time again they're fast.
Right.
I mean, so I still think it's kind of a crappy deal that, you know, the Andretti deal, how it ended up. And, you know, this is a few times now in IndyCar where some deals have gone badly wrong just within the past year.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes in IndyCar and how these deals keep happening. But here's my thing. I will say, don't put the information out there until the deal is done and final.
Right. Absolutely. I don't know how that ever came out to a press release. I mean, that blows my mind.
I mean, before that, you had the whole Hinchcliffe fiasco.
Yep.
I mean, not trying to go back on that, but there again, you know, with however Arrow McLaren Schmidt Peterson, however you say their
McLaren
team name, yeah, we'll just say McLaren. I just think, you know, how you going to tell a guy, because he was signed up until they released him, and then, you know, you release him, and he's out of ride now.
Right. And I mean,
he's got a ride for the 500.
Right. But I mean, he's still out there hunting for everything and trying to get everything situated here. So,
but you know, McLaren's shown before, and it's no different than F1.
That's
mean, F1, you can go in there and be signed and run 2 races and get fired.
Michael Andretti tell you that. he'd be the first one to say, yeah, you know what, you got a point there. He did it, and it happened to him. So, yeah, man, interesting situations.
I mean, bottom line, it's racing, but bottom line is it's business.
Yep.
So, I will have to say, I think, you know, McLaren has 2 drivers that could go out there and light the series on fire. I mean, they have the potential, as long as their cars and their engineers and mechanics and everything have prepped everything right. Yeah, I think you have the drivers that can go out there and do it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I
completely
got on
agree with
IndyCar.
that. So we'll move on to the other side of.
We got some NASCAR action. Woo!
And hey, big week coming up here in NASCAR. We got a big. Obviously, we got to put on some kind of special again next weekend. Got to do something big and special for the biggest day in NASCAR. One of the biggest days.
It's their Indy 500.
I was going to say one of the biggest days in racing, as all the events are coming. They're getting underway now. They're rolling, and the Daytona 500 gets off, and we'll take the green flag next Sunday. So we got the Clash going on today.
Yep.
Jimmy Johnson's the winner of that last year. So I think he won 2-3 races, that being a couple of them. So
I don't think he won 3 races last year.
The Clash, so 2, because he did get another one in there, didn't he? He did win 1.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Okay, so he got the Clash. That was his win last year.
Yeah.
And then it was all downhill from there.
He won another race all year long.
So we'll be keeping our eye on Mr. Jimmy Johnson as he takes his farewell tour there. Oh, we got some stuff coming on with Dirt there. You just you don't go away there yet. So but yes, the Clash is at 3 p.m. Eastern today. And well, like I said, we're gonna be watching Jimmy Johnson go at it for his final time this year. So he's got a lot to throw out on the line. He's got a lot to. I'm not gonna say he's got a lot to prove because he's got nothing to prove.
No,
he's
that man's got nothing left to prove.
So he's
go
just
out there and have a good season. Your last season, you know, if you can get some wins here and there, and if you get in that position where you know get in the chase and compete for a championship, cool. If not,
just
like I
have
said,
fun. And
just go out and enjoy your last season. Don't get hurt, and embrace it.
that's what I was going to say. Really embrace it because I know Gordon, he seemed like he really embraced the fans that last year. And Junior, he embraced the fans his last year. Stewart, I mean, those guys just have fun on that last year. And really, man, that could help him get over that stint he's having right now. Get over that hump and really get there. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know how that popped up, but yeah, we'll be waiting and watching to see what Jimmy Johnson has going on here. But little ARCA action.
Yeah, that was a good race yesterday.
Yes, it was.
It was a really good race. Right up to the point where the big one happened.
And it was.
It was. it wiped out about half the field. But we might as well go ahead and throw it out there. Haley Deegan,
second place.
I mean, switches over to Ford this year. Her teammates Tanner Gray, which her and Tanner were running, was either second and third or third and fourth. And then Tanner's car started smoking and pulled it in. And when they popped the hood, you could see where the oil was splashing on the inside of the hood, and it was just running down. So I don't know if it was a oil line, valve cover, something was leaking, and that kind of ended his race. But Haley went on to bring it home to second place finish.
Absolutely. Does it, goes out there, and she was involved in an incident. She was out there, and she's testing this car. She is pushing this car out there. She's bump drafting in spots around the track, different areas. She's really
I'm
really
say it
trying
was just
to
a racing accident.
Well, no, absolutely. But I'm saying overall, yesterday she's really just getting out there and she is trying to push it to the limit and really see what that car can do for her. And Daytona was the place. She does end up getting behind. I can't remember who it was, but
Self.
No, that wasn't because Self won it.
Yeah.
But she gets behind.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what his name was, but
they get bump drafting, and like you said, he just comes up a little, and she gets into that back corner, and he just gets loose and then hits the wall there.
And in that case, she wasn't trying to. If anything, she was trying to help him. She was trying to help him get up there and get by the car that was in front of him that was kind of holding him up. And like I said, it was just a racing accident.
Yep, I would agree with that.
And unfortunately, when it comes to, your draft tracks like that, like Daytona, Talladega, and, your bigger super speedways, that accidents like that are going to happen. I mean, you can get mad all you want, but it's to be expected. That's just the type of racing it is. If you don't bump draft, you're going to be back in the back.
Right, absolutely, 100% there. And he said the Kool-Aid man. At the unfortunate another racing incident that happened, a lot of people want to give her a hard time. And Natalie Decker, man, she was running a good race yesterday, and just unfortunate accident for her. She's in that the big one, and she just had nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go there, and she gets caught up in it, and boom, it's there.
And unfortunately, females, they will point the finger at them quicker than they will the male drivers. I mean, female drivers are under a microscope at all times.
You're 100%
and I don't think
correct.
that's fair.
No.
I mean, because, Haley, Natalie Decker, I'm not going to sit here and go through all the female drivers.
No, but look at Danica throughout her career.
Right.
I mean,
she was under the microscope the whole time, got criticized for everything she did.
Right.
And I think that added a lot of extra stress to her, and I think that affected her racing career.
Yep.
I mean, when you're under the spotlight all the time and being criticized for everything you do, every time you get in that car, you're stressed because you have to, run a good race, produce a result. You have to be this much better than the male drivers.
Right. You make a bigger highlight for wrecking than you do winning.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunate, but I mean that's the case in these some of these ladies' careers here. To be fair, no, you did. You're right. She kind of did.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that she didn't help it, but it's just like I just said. It's that extra stress, and she's constantly under.
People want to say Haley Deegan is nothing but the next Danica. No, she's not.
I disagree with that. I think, for one, I think her demeanor is a lot better. you know, and Haley's starting out in the stock cars and stuff, so she's going to get the feel for that. And she's been, you know, doing some open wheel testing. So, you know, she's kind of
She's driving sports cars.
yes, she's really going out there, and Haley is just, she's like a sponge right now. She's absorbing all this information, and you can tell.
Right.
I mean, you can tell even from last year to this year, if you watch how she drives and how she carries herself in the car, and I like her. I think she's going to go far. I believe she's going to run some truck races this year as well. I know Tanner Gray, her teammate, will be running truck at Daytona. So, you know, you got some young kids that don't have NASCAR backgrounds that are coming into, you know, the stock car series and not doing bad. I mean, Tanner Gray come from a NHRA drag racing background. He was, his last year in NHRA, he was the pro stock champion, youngest pro stock champion in history of NHRA. And then the next season, he walks away and goes and runs ARCA.
Yep. So,
or K&N.
Or yeah, it was a K&N, yeah. So, and like you said, I mean, that really goes to show you what Ford thinks of Haley Deegan, putting her in this program and really giving her all these opportunities. So obviously they see something in her, and that's a factory that I wouldn't mind having behind me when it comes to racing.
Well, even before that, Toyota seen something in her because she was sponsored by Toyota.
Well, you're right, but what I'm saying
Ford,
is
Ford. Yeah, and I
putting
agree.
her in sports cars, putting her in the trucks,
they're grooming her to really be something spectacular.
A driver,
yes,
not a NASCAR racer, a driver.
She's not going to be one-dimensional. She's going to be able to climb into anything, and like we've discussed time and time again on the show, she's going to be what we like to call a racer.
Yeah,
she's going to be able to climb into any car and drive it.
I completely agree with that. She's going to be a wheel woman.
Yes. Yes.
She's going to be the first WW.
Yes.
The true WW right there. I'm going to stick behind that. DCJ agrees with us on that. He thinks the Deegan is going to be a solid contender there in that NASCAR series eventually. But she's doing it the right way. We've talked about that many of times, so we're not going to cover that in depth. You mentioned it. I mean, she's climbing these steps. She's not using Dad's money to get up into NASCAR because, frankly, she could be there by now.
Oh, yeah.
If she wanted to, they got the money.
Yeah, I mean,
they got
Monster behind them.
Right.
I mean, so you got unlimited funds basically right there. And, you know, Brian Deegan, her dad, has been with Monster for years, and that relationship.
And he ain't begging for money.
No. So that relationship's very strong there. So I'm sure, you know, they could have fast-tracked her and be in a different series than where she's at, but they were smart about it. They're like, nope, we need to take the right steps. And Haley's even said that if you ever watch Dale Jr.'s podcast, which I'm a big fan of, I like it.
Yeah.
And she was on there, and you know, and she even said herself that, you know, she wants to learn. She wants to be able to get in a car and can tell her crew chief everything that it's doing. So right now she's learning all these different aspects of stock cars, sports cars, open wheel cars, and I think it's great.
Yep, I completely agree with you. And I think the ARCA package, we'll have to watch and see what they have outside of the restrictor plate. It looked a little rough yesterday, but I think overall we're going to have...
First race of the season.
Right, and like I said, I mean, you can't really... It's hard to judge a new package of a car on a restrictor plate race. These guys are used to short track racing, so you get it out there on that short track. Speaking of short tracks, Salem being one of those short tracks, they redid their wall, and this is something cool. The new owner, he put out a poster, Salem did there, and they said, if you want to get part of this wall, we got a pile of it over here. Because a lot of people, man, that means a lot to them. They got a win there. Maybe their first win. Maybe that was their last win. Maybe that was their only win.
That was where Rich Vogler died.
So
was that Winchester?
I mean, I'm sure there's people that
I want to say it was Salem.
So, and it was crazy though. They took a picture, like he's like right down the wall to look at it, and this thing looks like this. I mean, it had character. Now it's like this. So number one, this new owner, he's taking this and he's running with it. He's paving these areas that need paved in the back end. He's making it good for the fans. He's making it good for the drivers. So there's some money right now going into the Salem Speedway there.
It was Salem.
So okay, so there you go. I mean, so maybe a family member there. So just a really cool thing to do. It seems like this new owner really has a grasp of what it means to be because a lot of fans are gonna be like, heck yeah, I want a piece of that wall. You know, I think it'd be cool to put up in here. So,
well, you know, and you also got to figure too. You know, Salem, where it's at, there's not a lot around there. You know, it's pretty much small town.
Oh gosh, yes.
So I'm sure you have generations of families and people that have been going to that track for years. So, you know, that to the people that live in Salem and then, you know, on a Saturday night, Friday night, that's all they have to do.
Right.
Yeah, they're probably that piece of that wall is probably gone by now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'd love to have one hanging up here, or not hanging, but you know, just displayed here. I mean, that's just it's history, right?
Old
there.
Zeke done went and backed the truck up and loaded up. Look, hey y'all, I got me some pieces of wall over here.
Right. I like that there, old Zeke. Good old Zeke there, man. Oh goodness. Last thing in NASCAR action that will lead us into our dirt section.
What you got?
Old Tony Stewart. Did you see this? Releases a video game.
I did see that.
It looks like complete trash. I gotta be honest.
Yeah,
but
it didn't look good.
now, in all fairness, I'm on iRacing, and that is the cream of the crop in my mind. So I can't remember the name. Tony Stewart Sprint Car, maybe?
Something like that. Yeah, it didn't look
Oh,
good.
man,
I mean,
it looked rough.
But even though, you know, you say iRacing, I mean, before we got into iRacing, we were on console and doing Project Cars 2 and stuff like that. It looked better than that.
No, dude, this looked better than like Twisted Metal from PlayStation.
Yeah.
Or Twisted Metal from PlayStation looked better than this.
I mean, it looks like a step up from pole position.
Right, exactly. Here's a funny story on that. Somebody said on a comment somewhere I was reading, they got into pole position. That was what got them into sim racing, if you will. And he's a little older gentleman, and I'm just thinking like, there's two people now that I know that got into it from pole position.
I love pole position. I mean, when that game come out, you got to figure, man, we was in like the Atari ages at that time.
Right.
So
no, I'm not smashing it.
Pole position was like light years,
right?
Because it come out and it was like, I want to say pole position was the first video game, like you went to the arcade that was like totally enclosed.
Okay.
Where you could sit in it.
Yeah, I got you.
And it had the shifter and everything like that. So, you know, it was cool, you know, being let's see, I was probably 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there when pole position come out. So that was a big thing to me.
That's good stuff right there. So let's see. Yeah, that, like I said, that leads us into the dirt section here.
But before we go getting deep into the dirt section, I have to bring this up.
Yeah.
DCJ, that picture he posted in Discord of the car he wants to do for his throwback.
Oh, with that, 90-foot wing?
So we had this discussion in Discord last night. I think he got mad at me. But he's like, "Did you see that video?" I was like, "Yep." "What'd you think, bud?" I was like, "Dude, I remember when they ran cars like that, and that big old wing is the ugliest thing. It looks like a freaking billboard on the side." I wish you could put that video on here so people could see what I'm talking about. But I was waiting for, you know, somebody to come around and say smoke Marlboro or something. I mean, the thing is just ginormous.
That's good stuff right there. Give me a second here, and we'll get this up.
And I understand what it was intended for and what the purpose was for, but to me, it was just ugly.
That's good stuff right there.
Because the speed drum cars, they ran them like that for a while, where they had that big old wing on the side, and I never liked it.
Right. It's like, no, I think I'm good on that. I don't need that. So you want to take a look at it?
Yeah, let's take a look at it. So here's what I'm talking about. Look at these cars. But that's how everybody ran them back then. And I understand, like I said, I understand the purpose of it, but they're just god awful. Look at that thing. I mean, it goes down almost the whole side of the car. Then look at the dude in the lead. He's got like an extra pane up top.
One dude's smart and he got a sponsor on there. He did. He said, I'm looking for a thing to say smoke Marlboro.
Right.
That's some good stuff right there.
I mean, just look at the bracing that's running down.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a monstrosity.
Look, I mean, the driver's got to look through that.
I know.
Too, man. If you drove that, if you let us know what you think of one of those cars. Obviously, I've never been behind one of those. Can you imagine what the noise? I mean, that's got to be howling in the
It'd have to be, you'd think it'd be rattling and everything else.
No, it's welded on there solid. I'd hate to see one of these things wreck.
You got the plexiglass in there. It'd have to be making some rattling. Yeah, it's just no.
That's just no. That's no. I agree. It's just a wicked looking car, and just I don't get the point, honestly. So that was some good stuff. The big sail panels look ugly. Brad agrees with us.
Thank you, Brad. DCJ, I told him, he's like, no, bud, no. I was like, yeah, bud, yeah. Those are ugly.
I don't get. I mean, really, what was the point of them? What was the reason for that huge freaking thing there?
Downforce.
Really?
Yeah.
So, yeah, very interesting car to say the least. Good thing they found other ways to get some downforce to them.
So when you're going through the turn, and the way the air's gonna hit that, it's gonna push down on that side of the car to help you go through the turn.
And as it's going,
yeah.
And like I said, I mean, you can see the bars. It's not up on your guys' screen anymore, but these bars that are welded to the car are going straight through the driver's line of sight to some extent. And then on top of that, hopefully you ain't got nobody on the inside.
Right.
Because you got to see, hopefully you brought your Windex because you're going to be cleaning some plexiglass all day.
I mean, that's just crazy.
Good morning, Mr. Gwynn. It is a beautiful, beautiful race day. You got that right.
Hey, Matt Davidson's on.
Good morning. Good morning. So, yeah, those things are absolutely. Paint job was okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's a wicked car there. Like I said, if anybody out there ran one of those, that's one of the end of years in the run what you run. Who's still got one of those? That'd be the better thing. My goodness.
That's good stuff, Brad.
That is right there. So, man, Brandon Shepherd.
Yes.
Pretty much, I'm not going to say dominant this week. Takes 2 victories this week. Wins Tuesday and wins it again last night. So
that's the Valvoline car, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
So they were at East Bay.
Right.
So
I watched a little bit on Discord.
And it's like we said again. I mean, sometimes it's hard to follow. At first, when I'm sitting there looking at it, it's like, oh, it's Tuesday and there's racing on. It's like, I'm not used to that. So I have to get used to that. I have to get the he probably did.
I bet he did, Brooks.
So I got to get used to that, and then just really figure out the schedule and everything, so we can follow it a little better.
And the who's who.
Well, exactly, and I am starting to get that. So that's the kind of what I was going to go into is Brandon Shepherd this year, man. I mean, each week we've talked about dirt. He is in the talk. So, I mean, he's really firing out, and I believe he got a contract extension this year with that team. So, just really good for him to be firing off at the beginning of the season as well as he is doing. But a little more excitement was really Friday. We got a photo finish.
Yes.
On the dirt, man. And that's gotta, you know, if you're going door to door there with these guys and you get a photo finish, you know these guys. and they probably respect the hell out of each other, but at the end of that, they probably wanted to rip each other's throats out. And
I'll tell you what, I was watching. I think it was Friday. Man, these guys were throwing some wicked sliders.
And that's what. And some guys on iRacing, man, they get it down really well, and it does. It looks like just a fine orchestrated symphony. Yeah. When they're sitting there, just crossover, slider, crossover, slider.
I like when they throw the slider, then the guy that got the slider put on him crosses back over.
Yeah,
it's like,
dude.
Yeah, you boys are racing.
Oh, right, exactly, and that is fun to watch, man. And like I say, it is like just a fine-tuned instrument, however you want to put it.
Unfortunately, on iRacing, most of the guys don't know how to throw a slider.
No, they'll throw a slider. They don't know how to cross. That's what I'm starting to learn. Is these guys throw the slider and then they say, "Whoa!"
No, what they do is they throw the slider and then just park it right in front of you.
We'll talk about that.
It's like, oh. And they're probably sitting there thinking, yeah, slide job. It's like, no, that's a park job, bub.
You got to go. Oh, man.
If you come off the turn when you throw a slider and you just sit there, you didn't throw a proper slider. Sorry.
No, that's what
these
slider
guys, you're supposed to slide up and keep rolling it out.
These guys were, they was just very fun and entertaining. Run around those dirt tracks.
And I like
there.
watching those late models, man. Watching how they throw in there and then the body like all contorts and kind of lifts
three-wheeling.
Yeah.
These guys are three-wheeling through the turns, man.
They went from that to
yeah.
what they have now.
Yeah, you ain't three-wheeling. That's keeping the thing on the ground, dude. That's a little, maybe you're two-wheeling when the weight of, God forbid you get a good gust of wind.
You know what they did with all those when they quit running those cars?
Throw or put them on the side of the highway?
No, they built sprint car wings out of them. I mean, there's enough material right there to build a sprint car wing.
To build a sprint car.
Right.
You can build the whole damn chassis there. My goodness. That's a lot of steel. My goodness. So, we are
Lionheart Racing. Good morning.
Mason Ziegler just edges out there Kyle Bronson there. That was the
UMPs?
No, that was the late models.
Okay.
That was that photo finish there on Friday. And then
like I said, I'm still learning who's who.
No, I'm with you there. So Hudson O'Neal. That's a familiar name. I know one of Dan's favorites there. He was injured last night. And the doctors he was in the wreck. They told him something with his knee. Ooh. So they said you can't race today. So he's not going to be racing today, and when he gets back home, he's got to go see a bone doctor.
Ooh, that's not
good for Hudson O'Neal there. Unfortunate.
That had to have been a hard hit.
Yeah.
To mess your knee up.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was the hit or if something in the cockpit
came through. Either way, what it sounds like is he shattered that kneecap, maybe, or something, but.
Did he hit head on? Do you know?
I didn't see the accident, in all honesty.
Because I'm trying to sit here and think, okay, so if he hit head on and it shoved the motor back in the tranny, and with your gearbox and everything right
get you there,
maybe it. I don't know.
I mean, but we try to speculate in that. But look at Hinchcliffe's accident that time in Indy. Nobody thought it was as serious. I mean, he hit the wall, he jammed it. But nobody thought that
knew
cockpit
he had an A-arm sticking through his leg.
Exactly, right. No, I mean, you would have never thought that cockpit could have been pierced like that. I mean, that's a carbon fiber cockpit. That's pretty strong stuff. So,
oh yeah. Hey, but see, I pulled off a good slider. Dan just got mad and took me out.
That's how
I pulled a sweet move on both of you. I had to run. I was like, whoop, see you, then bam.
Barefoot McCready.
Yeah.
His son won Wednesday then as well. So these guys, I mean, they race it all week. They're out there.
Dude, these guys race like all week, every week.
I was gonna say they race as much as NBA players play basketball.
I'm telling you, I don't see how they do it.
No, I really don't. So I mean, shout out to all those dirt guys throwing it out there. I'm ready to see some sprints though now. Because the World of Outlaws coming to Volusia. Yeah, exactly.
Volusia.
Yeah, Volusia. As Dan likes to say. I don't have that track. Where's it at?
Where's Volusia?
Well, it's under the V's to begin with, not the F's. So you might want to start there. So Goodness gracious.
And then I caught part of the UMP race the other night.
Uh-huh.
Man, those guys are crazy.
Oh.
UMPs, for one, that's one of the cars, one of my least favorite cars to drive on iRacing, for one. But besides that...
Oh, that's a wicked drive.
It is.
Yeah.
But in that race, I mean, they were like a pack of hornets going around there, and everybody's just... I'm like, what's really going on here?
And some of their cars are all bent. Like, purposefully.
Yeah.
So as they turn there, I mean, we talked about that.
I mean, it was just crazy.
It is a good... Greg will love it. You know that big boy. He said, how you guys like an iRacing?
Do you really need to ask that question? Oh, I should put a picture of the new seat that I just ordered too. That should tell you how I like iRacing.
That is pretty nice. Yeah, that is pretty nice. But I'm still fascinated as this thing's still up on the screen.
Yeah, that just blows my mind.
Smoke Marlboro. That still cracks me up right there. That was some good stuff. Smoke Marlboro. My goodness. So, yeah, we'll be definitely watching for the World of Outlaws. And Scott Bloomquist, hopefully, I haven't heard anything. I assume he's okay.
Healthy and ready to roll.
And healthy and ready to go for Volusia here. So
yeah, they really haven't put out too much info on Bloomquist after he had that surgery. It's been kind of hush hush.
Right, and it could be. I mean, he's a pretty like personal guy. I could see himself. So maybe he's just trying to. Because it's not. I mean, that you got hit, but so if he ain't saying nothing, you can't come out and say anything. It's like. So he's got to be the one to come out and give those updates, and in my mind, in my idea. So
and I follow a couple different Scott Bloomquist pages on Facebook, and I mean they've been silent,
right?
So I'm assuming that everything's good and he's ready to roll and going to be running. So we'll see.
Hopefully, because I mean you definitely want to see him around Volusia. That is a quick track, and. Man, that kind of leads us right into our next...
What Daytona race are you talking about tonight?
The Clash.
That's at 3 o'clock.
Race, yeah. That's tonight for him.
All right.
Who knows? God only knows with him. But that leads us into Volusia on the virtual side of things as Slide Job Sunday gets underway.
Oh, is it Volusia for 305s tonight?
And 360s. It's the Volusia Bash for the most part. So I think street stocks are at Volusia. No, they've already been there. Limiteds. And there's another one there at Volusia this week, he was saying. So he put it on there, Volusia Week, as that's what's really going on. So I like how he did that.
Yeah.
And
because you know I'm DDR in training.
Yeah. And then we got... yeah, that's what we were saying on the Lucas Oil race there later. So
it's at 9. What Daniel? What are you talking about?
No, the iRacing. Who knows? I think he's talking sprints, and then just said Daytona next week.
I don't know what he's.
That's what I'm gonna assume.
He's talking sign language.
He's an Andretti fan.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Etheridge. Tuning in from work.
He's a Marco Andretti fan. That's
yeah.
even worse.
Yeah, right.
Hey, but speaking of that, going back to IndyCar real quick, I have to say that John Andretti's service the other day when they took
him around
one last lap around IMS.
That was cool.
That was class. That was complete class. That was the perfect way to send him off. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching, I got a little teary eyed.
No, that was.
I mean,
unfortunate. It was the nastiest day we've had in a while. It was like sleeting and stuff like that. But yeah,
but that was the perfect ceremony in the perfect way. You know.
Yep, I agree. That was a good way to say goodbye there. What better place than IMS to take him around there? So, but yeah, back to the action. So, did you see yesterday CWTV? I got a call a record breaking is what I called him. Performance there. Zach McSwain about lapped the entire damn field.
I saw the end of that.
And it's not like he's racing a bunch of rookies in iRacing. There's some big names on here, and he just pulls around them. got all but three cars, because himself, he's not going to lap. So all but 3 cars he ends up taking and getting around there. So just absolutely incredible performance. And we're seeing Zach McSwain. He kind of, I'm not going to call it even a slump, because you can't call a small little, it was more of a stint with just a couple podiums. And now he's getting back to those winning ways and making me a little nervous for that Wednesday series.
Wednesday night was given to him.
Well, you're saying the last week. Because did he go 2 straight?
I'm talking about this Wednesday. That race was given to him.
So McSwain has won 2 weeks in a row there.
Yeah.
So, and then, like I said, in the Mud Rebels League, he went 2 for 2 last night. He's back on his winning ways, and he checked his physics notes. He checked his calculus, and he set that car up and put it out there. Actually, he didn't. That was funny. Afterwards, I'm interviewing those guys, and he goes, Bryson Daffron goes, yeah, the bad thing is I gave Zach the setup like a couple minutes before the race. And Daffron, he ends up in 3rd. But McSwain just takes that setup, man, and goes to town with it. So just really impressive there. So
I mean, there's no doubt he's fast. There's no doubt he can drive.
Right.
I mean, and he can bowl.
Absolutely. Yeah. I heard you say that on the podcast. You're like, did you know? That he is he just, it's like all those physics things. He's calculating the ball turn, the spin on the rotation, how heavy the ball is. He just looks like that type of guy. I give him a hard time.
Oh, calm down, Daniel. You're not being our punching bag.
Yeah,
we didn't even say nothing about you hitting the wall on the race the other night.
You're your own punching bag. I'm over there. I'm calling a race. I said, man, Daniel's coming up through the pack here. He's doing a great job. He takes it from 6th to 3rd. He's just got to keep it slow, and boom, he just smokes.
I could hear it in my
wall.
headphones. Whoa!
He smokes the wall, man. It was like, oh, no. And then yesterday, he's in the transfer spot. And I was like, dude,
I almost hit the wall because I was spotting for him.
Just lay it back.
I was spotting for him.
You can see him. He's like, I want to make this pass. He's faster than the guy in front of him. He is. I want to make this pass. I want to make this pass. It's like, dude, you're sitting 6th. You're in the transfer spot.
I kept telling that dude, just ride.
Don't
just
make
ride.
it. He straight up J.R. Hildebrand that stuff. He said, I'm going to go around him. No, you ain't. Kaboom. Hit the wall. And luckily, 7th place was a ways back, and he didn't lose it. He held on to it and still transferred in.
And in his defense, he didn't hit the. He gave the wall a love tap because like I said, I was spotting for him and I had it on the
right
the chase camera. I was like, all right, don't wreck it on the last lap.
Yeah, Greg saying it's the old announcer's curse there. You got that right. But hey, we picked Howdy the other day, and you won it. So you're getting your feet muddy.
I didn't win it.
The heat you did.
No.
You didn't win that heat?
I finished
You transferred
third.
or something.
I finished third.
You got the transfer.
I led 5 of the 8 laps.
And then,
then
you got a little high.
4 and I got high.
Yeah.
Got
not a little
me.
high. You got real high.
Yeah.
You were. We were looking. We were like.
I got a little nervous because I was like, oh, I'm leading.
Right.
So I missed my marks, but I still got the transfer, and then I ended up finishing 7th in the feature. So it was my first top 10 league dirt race.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So that was a fun one to watch here. And that's what you got to do. You got to get your feet muddy. You got to get in the races, and you got to go at it. So Brandon asked me this week, he was like, you got any tips? I said, just be patient and throttle control.
throttle.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that would be my tips to anybody is if you're on the asphalt, patience. Which throttle control still, but patience number 1. But if you're on the dirt, it's throttle control, and I've realized patience needs to be about number 6 on the dirt.
Dirt, I'm going to tell you this, dirt is just about getting out there and making laps. Making laps. And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert at it by any means. I still am learning, but I'm getting better. And so is Sean, so is Daniel. We're all learning and getting better.
But we're making laps.
Yes. And I've also like DCJ and Stillwell told me, said when you practice on 100% slick.
Right.
So I've been going out there and practicing on a completely slick track to learn the throttle control and learn, how to turn the car. And, it's just repetition.
The only thing that will get me on that, because I've done that too, and then I go to a tacky track and I'll qualify and I'm like, dude, I need to get on the gas. I got to hit the gas because I'm just sitting here going, puh, 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 puh. Because you're used to that slick. You can't hit that gas or you're going to go zzz.
My thing on the slick, I can get in pretty good and get through the turn pretty good. Coming off's what kills me.
Right.
The car wants to over-rotate a little too much, so I have to kind of correct it. And it's just, like I said, I'm still learning.
Right.
So.
No, hey, it takes time there. So we saw another fantastic finish with the
Pricks of pavement.
Hold on, we'll do the
Monsters of Dirt.
That's
Pricks of pavement.
I love that laugh. It just works so darn good in that. So yeah, that's what I said. It's like you never want to tell a guy he's a top prick, but hey, on Saturday nights in that racing, you want to be the top prick there. So last night, who was it? Was it Daffrin?
I don't know.
Bryson Daffrin got it done there. Really good final, like I'm gonna say 9-8 laps. These guys in the top 5 just going at it. You got DCJ trying to find a top line because he's on fresh tires. Excuse me. He's on fresh tires. He's trying to get around the outside there of Zach McSwain and the other 4 who are all on their first set of tires, and they're running down because they did get a little green flag action in there near the end as it started out rough, but it got going there at the end. So check out the final like 7-8 laps because that was a really good race there at the end, and gives me good feelings going forward into next week's super late model race at Daytona. So
I don't have a good feeling about it. Not at all.
These guys are going to be on a super speedway, and we'll have to wait and see.
If you really want to make it interesting and maybe make it to where guys might be a little more cautious and don't wreck, turn fast repairs off.
So you're not going in there and getting that one, but
you turn fast repairs off, then because once you lose that draft, you're done.
You are, absolutely. And I mean, the small parts of damage there, you tap a wall, something like that, you're gonna lose some speed, so you got to keep in that draft there. So but at the back end of that, if you do that, and the few guys that are the unfortunate ones to get taken out,
which will be me,
they still have the opportunity to get in there and get back at it. So I mean, I see where they're saying or where they do that, but I'm with you there. Night Series Race League that I call on Wednesdays, they had their Daytona race this week, and they're in the Cup cars. They had one big one, but the dude was second and third. They were battling it out, and second place got sideways, and it was like, uh-oh, this is bad. This is bad because they were all in a pack, and it took a good amount of them out, but they don't do fast repairs. So at that point, you got 6 cars on the track that are going at it then for really the win.
And I was thinking about this after they were talking about it last night, and I was like, how some of these races have went and how anxious these guys get. If you take fast repairs off, especially at Daytona, maybe this will calm guys down. Think, oh, okay, I have no fast repairs, so I need to keep this clean. I need to,
right,
keep it at least till the end of the race.
Right. No, and I see what you're saying there. I'm with you there.
And yes, I agree with what you're saying. If a guy's just innocent bystander, it sucks, but it's no different than in real racing.
Right. No,
and there's no fast repairs, so
100% there. I do agree with that. So it'll be a fun one to watch regardless, because Daytona is always an interesting. Those super late models, man, I really like those. So we'll have to get some practice laps in this week. We'll have some fun with it there.
I'd rather them be K&N cars. I think the K&N cars would be
You're
better.
you're a big fan. A lot of people are coming out and especially after that last upgrade, really saying those K&N cars are really putting it out there and throwing them down good. So
Because the super late models, I think they handle like freaking log wagons. I'm not a fan of them.
See, I like them. I do. I like those better than the SKs, I think. And
I don't
like
care for the SKs either.
Really? See, I like those too. Those are two of my favorite oval or asphalt oval cars there outside of the open wheel. I'll always love my Indy cars. Maybe next time it's an Indy car series. These guys realize put a wheel to somebody, what happens?
CWTV IndyCar Series.
People's punch bag here.
Oh,
That's
here
how
we
he comes
go.
over.
Hey, Kool-Aid!
I can't believe she let him in.
I know, right?
It just comes busting in the door.
The ass is in the paddock.
He's trying to get on the screen. He
Nope.
can't do it. I think he did. You're just delayed right now.
Here.
So, look at that. Little BW Sports One wear from Above Printing Concepts, the official printer of BW Sports One.
What's up, everybody?
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
It smells extra Febreze.
Oh.
It's Febreze in here.
Those are for sale.
Coming up.
Well, don't tell me, tell them.
Hey, those are for sale. $10 each plus shipping.
For sale.
Yeah. Check us out, BWSPORTS1.com. Hit the subscribe button on the email. You have a chance to win one. We gave away one last week. Haven't heard back from the winner yet, so you better check your email.
There you go. So you got a winner out there now.
Yeah.
There you go.
BW Sports One action on the
It's like, it's just a
polo.
black shirt.
you gotta open the eyes.
Yeah.
Open.
Well, the collar was falling over.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, like we said, got a little Daytona action happening next week, so that'll be fun.
So the Clash is today. The Duels is Thursday, correct?
Is it Wednesday or Thursday? I believe it is Thursday.
So we'll have the Duels, and then we'll have the Nationwide race on Saturday, and then the Daytona 500 on Sunday.
Trucks Friday.
The Truck's Friday.
Yep.
Yes.
So-
That's usually a good one.
I knew that.
I can still remember, I think it was, I want to say it was Jeff Bodine, like after the trucks first come out and they first ran Daytona, and the big one happened, and you just seen his engine flopping out down the track.
Oof. That's never a good thing to
No.
see. That's not that is a wrecking ball.
It is.
That's taking chunks out of the asphalt, I'm sure.
We got some NHRA action.
Yeah, go ahead with that because I didn't catch that one.
Pomona. It's the Winter Nationals.
Pomona.
But there was a couple big announcements yesterday. Jed Coughlin, he will be stepping out of the car after this season and retiring. This will be his last season. Jason Line will be his last season. He's retiring as well. But, qualifying action, Brittany Force, man, goes out there and lays down. Her teammate, Austin Prock, had the pole. Then Brittany goes out there and lays down a lap. And David Grubnick steps out of the car, and he's crew chiefing now for Brittany for the past couple years. And that car is just a freaking rocket ship.
Nice. Very nice. And I mean, she's obviously one that's been on it. She's constantly a contender in that. So
and going back to Jeggy, he says he's stepping out after this season. Qualifies P1.
Yep.
And it's times like that. It's like, okay, should I really retire?
Right. Exactly. So real quick, $100 to win that Daytona race next week.
Oh yeah,
$100 to win. So guys are definitely going to be throwing them in there. So start in the back and just hold back. Let everybody go back.
Regardless.
Then fall back. Fall back. Let everybody happen the big one. Then you guys just catch up.
nah,
after
because
that.
see, you got to stay in the draft. If you lose that draft,
There's a
you're-
yellow flag, bud. That'll let you pull back up.
I'd just say do no damage.
No damage.
I mean,
No, that's a
no fast
There
repairs.
you go.
No fast
I like
repairs.
what you're throwing down. Let's do a no damage 100 lap
No fast repairs.
3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when we're done.
Yeah.
Daytona, no yellows, no damage. You gotta throw it out there. No, we're not doing that. Absolutely not. So continue. I mean, with the NHRA, is there anything else that?
No, that's pretty much it in NHRA. I think, like I said, Brittany got P1 and Top Fuel. I believe it was Matt Hagan and Funny Car and Jaggy and Pro Stock. And there's really NHRA saying there's really a surge in growth in the Pro Stock class this year, which I'm glad. Pro Stocks are one of my favorite classes to watch. I think Pro Stocks, you have to do a little more driving. You know, you really got to pay attention to the launch. You're shifting gears. You got to make sure you hit every point right when you're shifting your gears. And Pro Stock takes a little more to drive. And I'm not taking nothing away from Funny Car or Top Fuel. I mean, because those things are an explosion waiting to happen, basically. And as soon as you let loose of the brake, you're pinned to the seat. But I'm just saying the driver's doing a little more in a Pro Stock car.
Right. Absolutely. I'm with you there. And that's where you were saying that NHRA kind of messed up last year and taking that away from the
Yeah, they cut the Pro Stock schedule down.
right. So
And I don't like that.
well, hopefully they're not falling out there, but I mean,
NHRA's in trouble.
not much. I mean, we covered that last year. We were talking about that. They're losing some fans there, and I really think. I mean, we're not going to cover it too much, but between WEC, between IMSA, I think we're going to have a really good year in sports cars because we had the 12-hour race we talked about last week.
Bathurst.
The 24-hour race at Daytona was a really good one. So I really think that because they have new packages here this year, and I think they're dialed in. They got them good, and it'll be exciting to see if I think sports cars, IMSA and WEC definitely have an opportunity to kind of propel themselves onto a new platform, if you will.
I would agree. And especially with IndyCar and IMSA talking about teaming up on some weekends, I think that's really going to help.
They did release the 8-hour race. That's official here in Indy. We will definitely be there for the entire.
My only complaint on that is no prototypes. I want to see the prototypes.
And I'm with you there. And you would think with Penske having a team with Juan Pablo, I mean, people want to see. You got Elio there. You got Juan Pablo.
I think what they're doing is, though, they're just testing the waters.
Sure, absolutely.
We'll do an 8-hour race now.
And then maybe a 12-hour with
and
the pro.
see how that goes. And then maybe we'll come back next year, do a 12-hour with everybody.
Right, exactly. And I can see where you're coming at there. But you would just think, I mean, and maybe he looked at it to the point where, man, this isn't feasible for me to bring a team here right now. So if it's not feasible for me, it's not feasible for these other guys, even though this is my track. This is my...
But you also have to question, too, is that track big enough to have all three classes out there at once?
Exactly.
I don't know if
when you're talking, is it
I don't
big
know
enough?
if it
Yes. Is it wide enough? That's where you have a good point.
But still, even long, I don't know if it's big enough because you need a little gap in there.
You do, yeah. You don't want to be running over each other.
You can't just have prototypes coming by every lap, every other lap.
Well, they're going to come around every lap.
Well, but I mean, passing slower cars.
I know.
But
you just set that one up like an Olympic.
Yeah, they come out wrong, but you got what I was saying.
Absolutely, they did too. I just had to give you a hard time.
Right, I'm not going to be your punching bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't we hear that before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were typing it in there.
Brooks got my back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's big enough to have all three classes out there. So what you might have to do is you could do like even still, I don't know how you do that because you couldn't have two 12-hour races.
No, you'd almost have to either you're bringing the prototypes or you're bringing the GT
the GT the
GTEs or LMP ones.
No, the GTLMs and the GTDs.
Yeah, it's either you bring in the LMP ones or you bring in those. That's what I think. It's one of those.
Well, and if you had a few more cars in LMP2, you could do LMP1s and LMP2s, but
You got
you've
3
seen
cars
you've seen a Daytona.
right.
LMP2's what, 4 cars?
Yeah, there wasn't much there. So unfortunate turnout for those guys. Oh, that felt good. Unfortunate turnout for those guys. And just I guess overall I'm looking forward to IMSA this year. I think it'll be a good one, especially with that call coming here. That's gonna be a good time. We'll definitely be out at the track for that. So he's looking at the stream deck.
Oh, that's cool, ain't it?
Yeah.
The first like 10 minutes of the show, I was just,
I'm liking this stuff too.
yeah, the Orlex.
Yep. Big shout out to them there.
What is Orlex, Sean?
It is acoustic treatment.
Acoustic treatment.
It sounds very nice in there.
You can
It's
tell a
tight,
big difference. So
Right on the Orlex.
what
We got
Gravel did he did do he got 8 up though in the big one, I believe. So
Yes,
he was
did.
doing decent.
He did.
And he's a big Gordon is a big supporter of gravel there.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting. I think he's got a ride in a few truck races this year. So we'll be watching him to see if he can do anything there. And then somebody else, he said, drove his sprint car at Volusia. So
Volusia.
yeah.
Volusia.
I saw you said that. So that's that's kind of an interesting thing because I mean he's kind of what was it, Steve Kinzer?
Yep.
So kind of that same mentality, and
Steve Kinzer was the man
on dirt.
Yeah.
And then he made that move to NASCAR. Man, it was like, man, it was like when Michael Andretti
he ran
moved
Indy
to
too, or tried to run Indy.
No, exactly. That's what. So it's like when Michael Andretti moved to F1. It was like, man, you're a fantastic driver over here, but over here it's just not your cup of tea. Exactly. So hopefully,
But
Gravel.
you got to figure too, the time when Michael went over there. Look at the talent that was in F1 at the time.
Well, not on top
You
of that,
had
but
Ayrton,
look at the
you
Williams
had
car.
Prost. No, the car he ran, that was Senna. It was his teammate. That car was awesome.
Oh no, okay, no, I was thinking that
He ran
because that was the
he ran the
'94 series.
Marlboro McLaren.
He did, yeah. I was thinking the '92 series, but he was with McLaren. I forgot that.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
So he had the championship car because I believe Senna won the championship that year.
Well, that was right, but that was the year after they got in trouble for the leveling and everything like that. So Andretti, he was in for 2-3 races, and hey, dude, you ain't cutting that.
Texaco car?
No, it
No,
was,
it was Marlboro.
Marlboro, orange and white. But you got to figure. And Michael's defense, and this is where a lot of U.S. drivers fall short, especially if they're going to go to F1. It's no different than bringing an F1 driver over here wanting to run ovals. They don't know how to do it. They're scared of it. They don't want to do it. You take an American driver going over to Europe, these tracks, man, these guys have ran these tracks all their lives. These tracks, I think the smallest track they run in F1 is Monaco, maybe.
Oh, yeah, right. You're saying
most of
lengthwise?
these tracks are 3.5 to almost 5 miles long.
It might be Coda.
Well, Coda's about the longest track in America.
That's what I'm saying. It might be the shortest track in F1. I'd like to. Monaco's a long track. It's just.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I mean, you figure, with the exception of Road America, which was originally built for F1 here, because that track's 4.25 miles long, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But, most road courses here are 2 miles, maybe 2.5 miles. They're not as big as, the F1 tracks.
Right.
And I also think, too, a lot of our tracks aren't as technical as a lot of F1 tracks.
No,
now,
I would agree with that.
Coda, they designed it because it's they built it to be a state of the art F1 facility. So I think Coda's a very technical track. Road America's got some glimpses of technical. Laguna Seca.
What about Detroit?
Detroit? That's
It's a street course. So I'd love to see. I love a street course.
I do too.
I
love
love.
to keep it up. They can't have chucks taken out of it like Detroit does.
Well, I mean,
that's the downside of having a street course.
Yeah.
I mean, St. Pete's a street course.
I think those are the only
No,
Detroit,
Long
St. Pete.
Beach.
Yeah, Long Beach. Yep.
is a street course. Surfers Paradise when they ran that.
That
used to be
was,
a
yeah.
street course.
That would be a cool one to see back.
Canada.
Or Villeneuve or whatever.
Well, that's
you're saying
Circuit de Villeneuve.
No, Toronto. That's a GP.
Okay.
So I believe so. Actually, you know what? F1 I believe runs the GP at Toronto, but they are street course. You might be right with IndyCar, because that's where Marco went out and burned it up with on the slicks in the rain.
Yes.
So that was a street course.
Yes.
That was incredible. That
was one of the best drives I'll see Marco do in a while.
Oh, in his career. I mean, and that took balls. Like
I would agree.
Had the biggest balls that day, and it got him nowhere.
What game do we
Toronto
play?
is a street course.
We do iRacing.
We used to do a little project cars, a little bit of
F1 2018.
And I'll tell you what, I think I might get F1 next year for the PC when it comes out, because you can't get the tracks like Monaco on that game, and that car just drives different than the F1 car here. And I like the Halo. I like the look. I really, 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 really hope iRacing brings out the aero screen. I want to see that aero screen on that car, man. It would be so much fun. I just love, I love those open wheel cars. They're so much fun to drive. Really those open wheel cars, man, they're just, the acceleration, you really feel it when you're playing one of those games. Like, you see it in person and you're like, wow, that's quick. And then all of a sudden you hit the gas down in one of these games like F1, like iRacing, because those two really have it down. And man, that car just, just takes off. It's like, whoa, man, these things are absolutely incredible. And it wasn't until playing those two games that I realized what people were saying when they said you got to trust the car. It's like, I got to a certain extent, like, yeah, you got to trust it. You don't want that thing to fall apart when you're in the no, you got to trust that car will turn at 160 miles an hour around that turn in a smooth fashion. And you got to do it, because if not, you're losing loads of speed, because you'll fall off, you'll overbrake, you'll not get back on the gas when you should, and you're losing seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, man, this is a huge...
You got to learn the threshold of how hard you can drive it in the corner and hold it.
Absolutely. Well, then switch over to an F1 and it's a whole new game there.
Yeah, you can say iRacing is not a game, it's a simulator. Well, whatever, it's a game.
Well, and here's my argument on that. Until... And I'm not fantastic myself, but until people are off the game that are intentionally there to cause your night, just to piss you off, to make you mad, until they are able to get that off, I will call it a game until that. Until then, because unfortunately, in a real life situation, that guy's not going to throw it into the turn at 160 miles an hour when everybody else is going 120. It's just not going to happen. But these guys are trying to do it because they're not going to die. They can hit that reset button. And DCJ had a decent idea here. I don't like it necessarily, because it adds to, number one, iRacing get rich. No. iRacing would get, no, we ain't got time for that. iRacing would get rich. But if every time you hit that reset button, you smash your car, you had to pay 10 cents. You had to do something to it. Man, people might be a little more cautious, not at first, but then after you realize, like, man, I just chalked up $100 that month on that reset button. It's like, okay, it's like sending text messages, man. That one didn't matter.
That, or you could do where iRacing keeps track of incident points you get on a certain vehicle. Say once you get to 1,000 incident points, you have to buy that vehicle again.
Right, yeah, you wrecked it out.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. But, and to that point then, unfortunately, it becomes where the corporation or iRacing is just getting greedy and stuff like that, and it's not. But either that, or maybe you put them in a league that you can't get out of. You're here, you're in the game league. There's a sim league, and then there's a game league.
Right.
You know, I don't know exactly how to do it. There's so many people on iRacing to actually police that. But
and people will sit here and go back and forth and, oh, it's a game, it's a sim, it's a game, it's a sim. Who cares either way? As long as you're having fun doing what you're doing, I don't give a damn if it's a simulator or if I don't give a damn if it's a game.
I have fun taking Howdy out.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
just have fun, and that's the big thing about it. But and
That's not meant to, though.
I know.
when it comes to these guys in money races, in these money leagues, that's where it does become more of a simulation.
I would agree.
More so
I would agree.
than a game, and that's what I guess I can the way you can balance them out in my mind. Obviously, everybody has their own opinion. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but like you said, just you got to go out there. You got to have fun. That's the. I mean,
that's like I was in a hosted room for 305s at Eldora yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, running good. Next thing I know, bam! Somebody hits me. Come on, man. You know. Then the kid gets on here. Well, you know, you can't just kick a guy out because he's learning and you know he's not really good at it yet. I said, well, you know, you don't need to be in a hosted room unless it's like you and your buddies. I said, go run some officials. Go run practice.
Practice.
Learn how to run before you. I never tried to get into a hosted or anything until I had some good control with the car.
Right, because you can get into practices with people on the track. They have those open practices. So some people are like, well, man, I don't want to turn laps by myself. Okay, I get that. Well, then go to these practices, these open practices, and turn some laps with two other guys on the track and talk to them. Say, hey, you want to learn some drafting? Find guys that you can run with on the off days. Because there are guys all over the place. You hit Brooks Trammell up. I don't care who you are. The dude's one of the nicest dudes in the world.
Yeah.
He'll probably run around the track with you.
And he's got my back.
Yeah. That's how nice he is right there. That'll tell you right there. So, but it's these guys like that can help out and can really put you to that next level, if you will. So,
I mean, I'm not going to lie. DCJ and Stillwell's helped me tremendously.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, they've showed all of us.
I'd be the last person to recommend you hitting up DCJ, though.
Yeah.
Not in anything bad, but I don't want DCJ.
On,
I don't want DCJ coming to me being like, "Why's my inbox got 60 messages?"
Yeah, I'm not telling you to go hit these guys up. I'm just saying these guys have helped me out.
Well, and there's guys like this on iRacing that will. So go out there, run these practices, and talk.
Join the groups.
Right.
The groups, exactly. Talk to some. Just ask, like, hey, who wants to run a race here? Host your own. If you want to do a hosted, host your own. Put in there, like, I'm new, I need help. There's guys that'll hop in there and help out.
I'm about to start doing that. I'm going to find like 10 guys that I like to race with, to race clean with, and start a hosted room, and that's how I'm going to race.
And there's a lot of guys that do that. I mean, Jay Weezy, he does that himself because sometimes, you know, you get into these races and you don't want, because you're going to be up there for 30 laps running a smooth, solid green flag run because you know these guys. You run inside and out with them. You know what they're going to do for the most part in that turn, regardless of the track. You know how they run it.
I get tired of going out there and running 2 laps. Caution. Pace for 3 laps. All right, green. 2 laps. Caution. 1 lap. Caution.
It's better than going to the officials, though. And then, because right now in the officials, I don't have the caution privilege because I'm just getting to my C and stuff. But so right now it's just coming into turn one.
Bam!
Every time I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to queue up, and Caleb Ramsey posted a meme, and it's perfect. So I'm going to queue up before the race. I'm going to say, I want everybody to have a good, hard, clean race. Just remember, you're not going to win it all.
I'm Johnny Knoxville.
You're not going to win it all in turn one. And then right before the green flag drops, I'm going to go, hi, my name's TommyBoy, and welcome to Jackass. Down. Can you imagine hearing that right before green flag drops? People are like, oh, God, what's this guy going to do in turn one?
Hey, show Daniel that car we was talking about. Did you see this?
It's the Smoke Marlboro billboard car.
That's the wing on the side of the car. Yeah.
So he has the same expression as we did. Hey, look at that prime.
Right. Dude, you got your sponsor on the wrong side, bub.
No, it's
No,
the,
it's on the outside. So
you don't want the
Oh,
inside.
okay, that's true. Gotcha.
Come on, bub.
Wow. Majorly interesting.
That's that beautiful wing that Brad Haldane loves so much. No, I have not seen Bubba Wallace's car for the 500 yet.
Yeah, post it up, Bradley.
Put it in Discord.
Come on, eh?
Shoot it up there. Little F1 news. I'm gonna write a blog on this,
Okay.
so we'll talk a little bit about it. But
All right.
expect the blog tonight
Okay.
as Haas releases their livery.
And it's pretty sexy.
They get away from the black and gold.
Yep.
They get away from the new look or the old look. It's completely new. So that's what I'm going to talk about as Haas.
They're trying to
Wash-
cleanse all the
Exactly.
the bad juju off the team.
They want nothing to do with this last year because the year before was a fantastic year for them.
Last year was
Exactly.
terrible.
They don't want to look like that black and gold again. They don't want anything to do with Rich. They don't want nothing to do.
I mean, they were right there on Williams level.
Oh, it was bad. Exactly. So they are washing their hands, and like I said, expect something there, a little fun.
How would you run that car? I'm sorry. How would you run that car?
With no wind.
That's like a kite on a track.
Yeah, a good gust of wind, and now you're two wheeling. So
I was waiting for somebody to come by.
I'm
I was waiting for somebody to come by, and then on the wing, then on the end of it, have like the Marlboro Man leaned up against it. Remember the old billboards?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be good. That's perfect right there. Or a gentleman's club, a lady just across the top laying, something. I mean, goodness gracious. So
I hang like Christmas tree lights on it.
right, exactly. The possibilities are endless when it comes. I'd make it look like plywood. Like I'd make the plexiglass look like it was just rigged up to all get at.
You ought to see Tommy Boy's new driving suit in iRacing.
Yeah, we'll,
Yeah,
we'll
really.
show that off air.
Oh, boy.
So, then
Because you can get into trading paints, and you can get suits, helmets.
F1 will postpone the race.
The Chinese Grand Prix.
It's not official yet, but I mean, for the most part, they're saying, I think, after everything that is happening with the coronavirus out there, that I think they're just going to play it safe. They're going to postpone it. I don't think they're going to cancel it.
Speaking of the coronavirus, did you see Eminem's the first American to be diagnosed with coronavirus?
Yeah, knees weak, palms sweaty.
No, gosh, you guys are terrible.
There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom spaghetti.
He's nervous.
Goodness gracious. You guys are terrible. So, yeah, they will more than likely postpone it, as they did cancel the race, the Formula E race there.
Well, and they should. Did you see? I'm not
This isn't
trying
another
to.
bad
I'm not
joke,
trying
is
to
it?
get disgusting or nothing. But did you see where these people are like tossing their cats and stuff out the windows because pets are? I guess they're saying the pets are where it came from.
Oh man. So yeah, we won't talk about that here, but
Stop eating them. Just saying.
Wow.
all right. So that was rough. I think that pretty much does it for this week after that. I can't believe you said that.
Facts.
Not black and white sports. This is Checkers and Records. So my goodness.
Woo, would you
We're
look
gonna
at the
have to have a
time?
meeting after the show.
Verstappen with high hopes for 20. I don't think I can keep going. With high hopes for 2020, says Hamilton is good, but not God. So he's coming out with some shots there as he's getting it going. And he said if they can get rolling early in Red Bull, he's going to win this championship. That he is confident that he has got the car this year. If they can get it going,
Well, you know what?
they're going to keep it rolling. So.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing when your driver is that confident with his car and himself that he's attacking the multi-time world champion.
right.
But you got to figure too, and not taking nothing away from Lewis. He's getting a little older, but he's still fast.
He is, yeah.
He's still got a great car underneath him.
Yep.
And Verstappen, even though he's talking all this about Lewis, you're forgetting one thing there, buddy. His teammate, Valtteri Bottas.
Absolutely, yep. He's ready to go at him. He said he's got some tricks up his sleeve this
I
year.
think Valtteri's going to go for that championship this year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at this point, because number one, it is another year for him, and I think he just signed a 1-year extension.
Yeah, and Mercedes is done after this year, right?
No. So they're coming out and they're saying like, no, these are all false rumors. But
Really?
Mercedes has done this before. I mean, we've seen them. And if I'm a team, am I gonna really say, yeah, I'm folding after this year? No, especially if I'm gonna try. If your buyer, you want to keep your buyer happy, and you want to make sure that hey, going into this, you might still have Hamilton and Bottas. I mean, you got a lot of things to think about. You don't want to make somebody upset, and then Hamilton just be like, "Yep, going to Ferrari."
You know, and I got thinking about the whole deal when it came out that they said Penske was in talks with buying Mercedes F1 team. And I'm thinking, why would Roger Penske want? I figure this is my speculation on it. I think he was trying to buy the team, and he wasn't going to run a F1 team. He was going to take all those engineers and everything, bring them to IndyCar. He was going to bring Mercedes back to IndyCar.
Oh, I think, and with the hybrid coming, I think that is. That's that. I just think
his main goal was to bring Mercedes back to IndyCar.
Not only on top of that, but to bring F1 back to Indianapolis. I think that's part of it too. I think he does want F1 back here.
I don't think that he would have.
They bring money.
I understand that, but I don't think we'll see F1 come back to Indy.
I'd rather see an F1 race there rather than a NASCAR race.
I would agree. But the thing about it is, they already have all these races already scheduled.
Right.
And you just built a multi-billion-dollar facility in Coda. So, I like the shoes.
The poo.
Yeah. So, I don't think you see F1 in the United States. You're going to see Coda and then Miami. Because they're supposed to have that F1
and
race in Miami.
That is coming. I don't get what it is. I mean, during the Super Bowl, we'll touch on this real quick. There's people protesting. They don't want the F1 race there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get that.
I don't either.
You brought the Super Bowl here. Why don't you want an F1? And I get your city is busy. It's crowded already. Maybe that's part of it. But, man, you can really push through some money. You get some... a different fan base. I mean, honestly.
Hey, there's Bubba's car. That is good looking. I like it.
So it kind of looks like Connor Daly's IndyCar ride. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting there.
Somebody was running that type of paint job Friday night?
There's a lot of guys on iRacing that have that.
Whatever race we were racing the other night, somebody.
Well, matter of fact, you can get on Trading Paints, and it's not that exact paint, but it's something like that.
So right there, I put up on the screen there is Bubba Wallace's car for this year.
It reminds you of the old World War II bombers.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly, yeah.
I like that.
It's a cool look there. I think it looked a little better on Daly's IndyCar.
Well, just because the way the IndyCar knows it looks like
exactly, right. So, but, I mean, the mouth is a little more open here, so it kind of looks a little more fierce.
It looks more aggressive.
Right. Kind of looks happy.
I kind of think they should have stopped at the wheel.
No, I think you gotta bring that back there.
Yeah, you gotta bring it back a little bit.
You gotta pull it back and finish it off there. But yeah, not a bad looking vehicle
and
there.
It kind of reminded me of Haley's ARCA car. Do you see how it had teeth all around the grill of it?
Yeah, yeah. That monster kind of. Yep, exactly. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
I think we've hit all kinds of stuff.
We didn't
today.
give Thomas his shout out. Thomas from Imperial shows up on the iRacing top 10.
Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about that earlier when...
What a save, dude.
Yeah.
He's in there going, hoo, 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 hoo. He's all over that wheel. You see the wheel just all over. He saves it, man. Just taps the ball. Boom, goes. See ya.
Did you watch all those videos in the top 10?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the one guy, and I want to say it was at Daytona, too. There was a wreck breaking out, and I wanted to say it was a nearly miss is what the title was.
Yeah.
He got through there, and I mean, he missed by like that much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was some real...
And he ran down through the grass like...
The one at the 24-hour Daytona, the BMW.
Yeah.
The dude spun in front of him.
That one close finish, too. Just by a hair. I showed Christy. It's like...
Oh, and you had 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah.
Oh, there was one there, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
and it was, I mean, really.
And speaking of Imperial Motorsports, did you see the picture? I don't remember if it was Thomas or Scott posted it the other day. I think they did another like 12-hour Daytona race. And they show their car right here coming through the turn. And then in the background, you can see like the front stretch coming into the first turn. All these cars are wrecking and flipping.
Oh, man.
Let's see if I can find that.
That's a little frightening there. So, JD, is that the one that Hudson was involved with? Because I didn't see it.
Oh my God, he speaks.
But I
Yeah.
did. Well, it's also
Hollywood.
8:30 or 9:30 in California.
Yeah.
So he's probably just waking up and getting ready. Oh, excuse me. So, where was it there?
I don't know. I'm trying to find this picture.
Oh, I wanted to touch real quick too. NASCAR pulled for iRacing, got a new title sponsor. So Peak was out. Coca-Cola is in. Wow. Yeah. Coca-Cola is in. And they take the purse from like $25,000 to $100,000 to win the NASCAR esports.
We gotta get good.
It's already
Yeah.
started. So these guys are going out there and throwing it out there.
Wow. Look at this. This is the finish.
That was by .000 or
Yes.
something like that. Exactly. I did see that. So real quick, JD Brown sending us a video from last night's sprint action. I'm going to pull this up here as this is a little wicked here.
Oh.
Hopefully everybody was okay. JD, was he all right? Do you have any idea? Before I show somebody, I hope I don't show somebody dying here. You know, our beautiful stream deck here. We'll get that kicked over. And show you guys this video from last night's World of Outlaws.
Oh.
Into the fence and just disintegrates.
Sweet moving up the track. Madsen had the run. Madsen climbs over the right rear and into the fence and tumbles.
Sweet pulling the iRacing move right there. Just kind of got right up into his line, man. I don't know what he was doing. He was
Yeah,
there
he didn't
in
much real estate, did he?
Not at all there. That's I can't believe Sweet is able to pull away.
Climb out of the car on his own power.
That's amazing.
That just shows you right there the
testimony of those cars.
man, that's absolutely insane.
But then again, the car is designed to disintegrate like that. It's
To
releasing all
take
the
the impact.
energy.
Yeah, exactly. You're right there. So man, that's a
high-speed crash in two
Oh,
cars
if another
battling for
car
the
would have
same
come through and
position,
hit him, that
racing
probably would have been a whole different story.
So yeah, I mean that's where I actually read something here where they released Anthony Hubert, that wreck that happened earlier this year and took his life. They've cleared everybody of any wrongdoing there. So obviously you have to go through a what do you call it? Investigation, yeah. And they said nobody could have done anything different in that situation. Everything happened so fast, and cleared everybody of that there. So
Here's a question for you. Bringing this in, has there ever been a wreck that somebody intentionally wrecked somebody that costed the life and got murder charges against them? If anybody knows that, please let us know, because that is
the
an
only
interesting
thing I
wreck.
can think of is Tony Stewart on that
dirt
accident
race?
in the dirt, and
Yep.
that wasn't in.
I don't know.
Nor was that Tony Stewart intentionally doing it.
No.
But that's the only thing that I can think of that comes to mind right off the bat.
I can't think of any.
Is something like that. Yeah, now I can think of many cases where somebody dumped somebody, but
Doesn't take their life, though.
right, and that's more NASCAR, where you see in the case of like IndyCar, nobody's gonna go out there and intentionally do anything, because at that point you're putting your own life.
Carrying your
Right.
own car and-
Well, that they don't care if you're wrecking somebody intentionally. You don't care at your own car about that point, but
Still don't
your
want to
life,
either.
yes, exactly. So I can't imagine in an open wheel sprint, IndyCar, anything like that there's been anything like that. But the only thing I can
I'm sure it's happened a few times out at Speedrome.
Somebody tried it at least. Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, and I'm sure that does happen. That chassis is ready to be an iRacing rig now. that's the truth.
Did you see though? There's actually a guy, I can't remember what Facebook page it's on.
He's got the switches for all the sprints, like the wings and stuff like that.
He's actually
It's
got
in
a
the
chassis
cockpit,
sitting
yep.
in there, and he doesn't even have like a wheelbase like that. He's created like his own steering.
Really
It's crazy. He's got hydraulic pedals that he built. And,
interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out there. No.
well, he has to know some computer stuff to be able to wire all that and get it to talk to the computer and stuff. But it's
Mr.
pretty cool.
Trowbridge.
Yeah.
So he sends out a picture this week, and I don't have much after this, but he sends out a picture. He's at the shop. He's late night working there, getting everything
seen that.
ready. And I asked, I was like, "Hey, can we strap that steering wheel up on a G29?"
Yeah, and I also seen where TommyBoy posted, "Hey, I'll come by and keep you company if you ever
Yeah,
need me to."
exactly right.
Yeah,
but,
we'll both volunteer to come by. I can make it. I can talk to my boss and get a work field trip for me that day.
Did you see? Well, he's late night. He's late night action. I'll go there after. It's all good.
And then we need to hit our buddy Hogue up because now that we're on like 360s and it's open setup,
Right.
Hogue, we need setups.
He Mr. Trowbridge then shows AJ's or one of the simulators that they have, and it's an old chassis there that they got that hooked up into, and it's
Well, you
like,
almost
hey.
had something good going on at one time. I could barely put my feet down in it.
that's
Oh yeah,
kind of the same. It's not the same. It's pretty close over there. So rocking it out here, doing what I can to have some fun, making me feel like I am an absolute champion there. So
I'm down, bro.
he's gonna put up a practice today, 50 lapper.
Yep.
So hey, I guess I
it's
don't
all fiberglass.
I don't have anything else. You got anything?
Nope.
All righty. So for myself, Checkers and Wreckers,
Me,
howdy
the ass.
Hey.
over here. Don't forget, let us know if you are interested in a BW Sports 1 shirt. If you want to rock some BW Sports 1 wear, $10 plus shipping. Hit us up. We'll get it out there. That is from Advance.
If you buy one, we might even throw some stickers in with it.
There you go. That is from Above Printing Concepts. That is right. Above Printing Concepts. They are
Not below. They're above.
They are. And they are the number one.
You know,
The official.
You can get them in person Wednesday nights if you're around Indy.
Royal Blue Sports Bar.
So if you are local
And
and
that
you
way
are
you don't
around
have to
the
pay
area,
for shipping.
there you go. Just go over to the Royal Blue Sports Bar, and join the boys over at Black and White Sports on their show there. Have a drink, grab some wings, do what you do best. Do a little.
Oh, you'll grab some
Eating.
wings because when you're sitting in there and having a beer, it's like,
man, it
oh, the
smells
wings
so
smell
good.
so good.
So
Parmesan wings, they are fantastic.
check those guys out over there. Check out John Wayne at
Buzzard.
First, I always say John Wayne, but yeah, it's John Buzzard
It is.
over there at First Financial Bank, because they are the official bank of the BW Sports 1 group.
Hey, and if anybody
Network.
from Lucas Oil Dirt Series is watching, I sent you an email about media credentials for TommyBoy and I for the Brownstown race. So, if you can get back with us and
Got a
let
little
us know
poll there.
something, we appreciate it.
And then just a big shout out to all the other sponsors: iRacing, iFlag, Butt Kicker, the Gamer 2 there. Our buddy Dustin up at Barber Ford.
Gruntworks Custom Woods.
Absolutely.
I've had some pictures sent to me of a little sneak peek of what we got coming, and
Look good.
oh man,
I've seen it. I've looked at his work on Facebook. It's awesome.
the color of yours that will be coming
I saw that.
is better than that color on the green.
Nice.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
It's like that.
Yes.
So got a lot of stuff coming our way as 2020 is rolling in quick and good here. So we got some big things going on here.
All trade shirts. I got my RX-7 on shirt for War Faction.
So That's up to these guys here.
Yeah, that's up to Daniel.
So,
If you want a war faction,
we
shirt,
will,
get with Greg Thielson. He'll trade you.
big thanks to all the partners that we have here. Orlex for coming on. Sounds fantastic in here. It's just going to sound even better as we get going here. So big shout out to them. Big thanks. And as always, check out www.BWSPORTS1. That's the numeral 1.
Hey.
www.BWSPORTS1.com.
And you know what today is?
What's today?
Side Job Sunday!
There you go. He got into
I'm
it
so
too.
glad I didn't have earphones on.
I just perked up like a dog there. Yeah, that was good. Today is Slide Job Sunday, so check them out later tonight. Don't forget the Daytona Clash is going on at 3. So you want to pick a winner?
Man, let's see. Who am I going to pick for a winner? Because the Clash is only previous winners, right?
I believe so, yeah. Hold on. This is exciting because we're back at it. What's the number? 12, never mind. And it's the checkers and records. Picks.
Been a while since you got to do that.
It was. So I figured, hey, it's time. Let's have some fun.
I'm going to go with...
We'll take Harvick.
Okay, the ass is taking Harvick.
Checker Harvick.
I'm going to take Martin Truex Jr.
Martin Truex Jr. I'm going to go with my boy Chase Elliott. Who you got as a wrecker?
Greg Biffle.
Greg Biffle's not even in it.
Not even.
He's a wrecker. I win.
Did you see the iRacing race, the AI? It's all Greg Biffles.
Yes, I did.
Greg Biffle's making a
why
great
I said
move.
that.
Greg
Oh,
Biffle up
gotcha.
to the front.
Gotcha.
I'm going to go with Truex on the wrecker.
Truex on the wrecker.
Wrecker. I want to take Chase Elliott.
Aren't you glad I didn't
You're
say
taking Chase
Penske?
Elliott.
I mean, see, I'm learning.
I'm going to take the champion from last year, so he's probably going to put it in victory lane, Kyle Busch, to wreck it today. So we'll have to wait and see here. Hopefully Jimmy Johnson has a good showing. Everybody wants to see him. Maybe not go out on top, but have a good year. You don't want to see a guy with
And
such
we're
a
not going to do
career.
a dark horse pick because there's
It's
really
kind of
not
hard.
a
There's
dark
no
horse
dark
in this
horse. Yeah,
race.
exactly. Jimmy Johnson. We'll all throw it down as Jimmy Johnson today for the dark horse. But, man, big shout out. Thank you very much, Jeff. Hello to you as well. Thanks for stopping by. But, yeah, so check out the Clash tonight. Hopefully, or today. Tonight in your world, I guess.
No, I'll explain what I was talking about here in a little bit.
Well,
We'll do it all fair.
yeah, we'll be watching that here 2 hours away from the Clash. And the next week, we got a little Daytona
Yep.
500 action. We'll be doing something. I don't know what yet, but we'll do something
We'll do
special
something. We'll do something.
for that there because
It's almost our 1 year anniversary.
we are almost there. We have almost made it an entire year, but look what we've done in less than a year so far.
I
So
know.
thank you.
And see you way back in the corner back there staying on the wall.
No, move.
Move.
You,
Oh, get it. Yeah.
you.
You.
Yeah. Well, you two that moved. Yeah, thank you.
And I
But-
just want to congratulate you two guys for a hell of a show, man. You guys have been going strong.
That's the
great-
machine.
The machine.
There's a backstory to that, folks. But no, I really want to show my appreciation to adding to the BW Sports 1 network. We appreciate it. It's awesome. Have both my other brothers on the other show.
We have a blast doing it. And CWTV is underway with
Popping off.
week 3. Seems like people are enjoying that. I'm having fun up there doing that. And so thank you,
I
everybody.
might have to get my stuff set up to where I can broadcast and pick up the slack from everybody hitting TommyBoy up there. Hey, can you broadcast? Hey, no, I'm booked that night.
I'm only one guy, so it's fun, man. I have a blast doing it. I could teach you real quick the ins and outs there. I'll send you that.
I caught up a little late this morning because I had to go to the store. Did we miss a new announcement for iRacing Insider? Did I miss anything?
Yeah.
Nothing.
When's the next episode of iRacing Insider?
It's every week.
Oh.
Because I didn't see it.
I didn't see it this week either.
Hey, then you missed it.
No.
It just disappeared on you.
Oh.
Well, JP,
Oh.
JP and myself, we're getting together. But yeah, you guys missed last week's. So check out iRacing Insider every week. You guys are just losing it.
Yeah. Hey, and real fast before we go, I found something out the other night that I didn't know about Jay Weezy.
Uh-oh. He's giving out secrets, Weezy.
Climber told me that Weezy's a big Kentucky fan.
Oh, no.
I always thought Weezy was a Louisville fan, but Climber swears that Weezy's a Kentucky fan.
Now, see, Climber's from, like, where you would be a Kentucky fan,
Right.
so maybe he's trying to start stuff.
Well, but see,
because I'm pretty sure I saw Weezy do a paint with a Louisville Cardinal on
okay,
there.
maybe it's okay. I know what it is. Climber's the Louisville fan.
Climber's the Louisville fan.
Yeah,
So
I
they
guess
like-
he's got Cardinal pajamas and everything.
They like flip flop where they're supposed to be.
No, I was wrong.
So Jay
Weezy's a
Weezy is
Louisville
okay.
fan.
Okay,
Climber's a Louisville fan too.
I gotcha. 10-4.
You sound like all the
Chirp chirp.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you all for hitting us up. Thank you all for joining in with us today. We've had an absolute blast here. Went a little longer than we usually do.
Yeah, it happens.
but we get to chatting, and that's what goes on. So thank you all. We got a lot of action going on CWTV here this week. Check out Slide Job Sunday over at SRTV tonight.
We'll have the pre-Daytona show next Sunday.
Absolutely. So we'll be having some
I
fun
don't think
with
we'll
that.
be eating no peppers. Maybe, I don't know.
You guys give us a reason to eat a pepper. Maybe we'll eat a pepper.
Right.
Well, 1 year anniversary, I feel like we got to eat a pepper.
Yeah.
And I will be prepared this time to hit the end button on the correct time. Yes, that is still probably one of the most memorable moments of 2019 in Jaggers and Records
the
world.
tears coming out.
I can feel the pain in my mouth right now just thinking about it. Thank you all for joining in today. Thank you for all those likes there.
Peace.
Smashing. You guys have a fantastic Sunday. See ya.